Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by. Coffee's hot, frequency's alive. 145.430. You're listening to the morning hum. This is the Coffee Break Net. Steam rising but the sunrise glows. Signals bouncing nice and low. Foothill light and silicon sky. Morning check-ins rolling by. Call sign ready, mic in hand. Voices drifting through the band. RF dancing in the air. Someone's mobile somewhere out there. Heat up, drop your sign. One at the time. You're sounding fine. Sip so don't rush the day. Net control will lead the way. Coffee on the console. Radio's awake. Morning on the machine. Give and take. Voices in the speaker, smooth and clean. So like riding on the beam. Checking out, don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. From the hills to the bay. W6EK Echo Kilo starts the day. Check in. AllStarLink been feeling strong. Echolink brings friends along. Mobile base or handheld tight. Everyone sounding right. Morning traffic rolling through. Signal reports 5x2. Laughing in between the keys. Coffee cup and beat my R's. Mic drop, carry a tone. You're never really alone. One more round, take your place. Good vibes on the interface. Coffee on the console. Radio's awake. Morning on the machine. Give and take. Voices in the speaker. Smooth and clean. Sunlight riding on the beam. Check it out. Don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. Morning voices, RF stream. Coffee break, live on the machine. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Coffee's hot. Frequency's alive. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Good morning. Voices. Stand by. Stand by. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by. Good morning, operators. Stand by.
Well, there's a lot going on, I guess. National Pretzel Day. Who doesn't love a good hot pretzel? I have to get one once in a while. Let's see. Get organized today. Spring cleaning time. Yeah, that's a beautiful time to do that. Better to empty the garage when it's not raining, though. Speaking of that, it's also National Garage Day. I guess that goes in line with Get Organized Day. It feels like my garage is in a perpetual state of needing organization. Let's see. Remember your first kiss day. I was thinking about that when I saw it. When was my first kiss? That's pretty funny. I'm sure that'll bring back some memories for people. And then, let's see. There's quite a couple of other things. I always like the food ones, but that's National Pretzel Day. Well, with that in mind, I know there's other things going on in the world, and we'll just distract ourselves a little bit from the chaos that is the news until real news comes out over time. Let's relax, enjoy our morning. Happy Sunday to everybody, and I'll start out the morning with taking some quick in and outs so that you can get on with your day.
N6EKV, good morning, Jeff.
N2DYI.
All right, good morning, Patrick, and good morning, Carl. Carl, what is your morning up to today?
Good morning, Jeff, and good morning, Patrick, and anyone else that might be out there. Well, I'm still in isolation. I took my iodine 131 on Wednesday and have to be in isolation until the 4th of May. So I'm radioactive. And other than that, Patrick, if you could look me up, November 6th, Charlie Kilo Victor at ARRL.net. Can you send me an email? And I will send you some ideas for your mother's back problem. I just got through getting my back taken care of with an interesting procedure. Back to you, Jeff.
All right, Carl. Well, you are hot stuff until May 4th, so hopefully that goes well for you. I'm very familiar with that procedure, but good to spend some time alone, I guess. Good luck with all that, and have a great day, Carl. N6CKV, KW6U73. And Patrick, good morning. N2DYI. Did you want to contact Carl directly here?
You guys doubled. Carl was clearing.
Sorry about that. Carl, thanks for checking into the net. My apologies. Going back to you, Patrick, did you have anything to add for Carl?
Just to say, I'll send you an email in a little bit. Definitely appreciate that. She's actually doing pretty okay right now, but yeah, I'll drop you an email in a bit.
Looking forward to it. M6CK.
Well, good morning, Patrick, and a happy Sunday to you. And this is the first I'm hearing about your mom needing some back help. Hopefully that's going to go well.
Good morning, Jeff, and everybody on the net. Yes, she has had some issues for a little while, slipping discs mostly, I think. And so she had an RF ablation a couple of days ago. I think it was, I can't remember what day it was. I think it was Wednesday, and it was overdone a little bit, and she had some trouble walking for a while, but she's gotten over most of that. She's mostly doing okay, and that's on one side. She'll have it again, I think, either next week or the week after that on the other side, and I think that's good for like 6 months or so before she has to do it all over again. She's done this before, so I think this is a second time around.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than having a very sore back and feeling really funky. I can tell when people are uncomfortable with that. You can just see it. You know, they're walking around just completely. My wife's kind of going through a small back pain situation right now, so it's on my mind.
Yep. I mean, it's just a thing. And now she's looking at possible knee surgery or knee replacement, and also other stuff going on too. So, and that's just her. My dad has his own set of things. So it's kind of one of those things. I'm sort of glad I'm here right now, but I've been here for so long that I really ought to start thinking about going back home. But then stuff like this happens, and I kind of don't want to leave. So, yeah, here we are.
Yeah, it's nice when you can be helpful to your parents. I'm sure they appreciate your being around to be able to just handle certain things.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm glad I'm here at the moment, so we'll see how long that goes. Anyway, right before the net, Gerry, the little dog, escaped. The next door neighbor, his Mexican family lives next door, and their son just had his quinceañera yesterday, and they had a bunch of leftover food, so she brought some food over. And while her and my mom were talking, little dog went out the door, and so they tried to run around and track him down, and yeah, he's roaming all over the neighborhood. He'll come back sometime, hopefully, not get hit by a car. So yeah, that happened about 5 minutes before the net started.
Oh, they'd have been better off putting down a little bowl of carnitas, and he would have come right to them.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny when you try stuff like that. He totally will do that after running around for about half an hour first.
Yeah, they got to get their freedom zoomies out when they first escape. That's kind of the norm. I always love it when people are chasing their little dog, and the little dog is just having a blast, the tongue flying out. Looks like a cartoon, really. Looks like, Patrick, either you cut off or something's not working.
Yeah, I dropped out. Okay, should be back now.
There you are. Well, welcome back.
Yeah, don't know what happened there. I am trying some experimental software, and it's kind of experimental for a reason. So, anyway, I didn't have much more anyway. This was a quick in and out, so I'll let you get on with the rest of the net. Good to hear you this morning. I'm going to probably go to bed here right about now. I've been awake since Friday afternoon. Not by choice. It just kind of worked out that way. So, yeah, I think I'm going to say 7-3 and good night while everyone on normal time starts their day. Have a good one. KW6U and 2DYI.
All right, Patrick, get some much-needed rest. Into DYI, KW6U73. It must be a nice, slow, groggy morning for folks today. Happy Sunday. And let's go ahead and take another round of in and outs for those that just really want to get on with their day and just are finally getting to the mic.
KB6LUV, good morning.
Good morning, Brett. KB6LUV. How are you this morning?
It is a slow-moving Sunday morning. Unfortunately, 2 nights ago, I pinched a nerve in my neck, which is when I slept somehow, so sleeping's been a little bit funky, but no complaints. You know, it's part of life, getting older. I'm almost convinced that the coefficient of gravity increases the older that you get.
Or at least the feeling of it as muscle mass goes down as well. You feel the gravity more. Whatever it is, it's time. We have a limited time on this earth, and that's the way we end up.
It is limited. Time is precious. So, yeah, got to count those blessings on a daily basis. I'll tell you, standing on the green side of the grass, or even if you have a little bit of pain on the green side of the grass, it's just to remind you that you're alive. So I am thankful. I will be counted as a blessing that I even have a sore neck to feel sore about. So that said, I want to say good morning to my mom in Newton, Kansas. I'm not sure if she's up and listening or not. She might be, but she also might be already off to church. So if she's there, good morning, Mom. Love you. Same thing to my grandson, Jordan. Hopefully you are doing well. He's doing extremely well in electrician school, so I'm very, very proud of him. So, all right, well, everybody else out in Coffee Break Net land, I hope you have a great Sunday. Looks like it might be a lazy one or a slow roll into one, but yeah, everybody else have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be blessed. KB6LUV. Be of love. 73. Cleared listening.
All right, Brett. Yeah, you have a wonderful morning. I think this morning up here, at least in Auburn, is it foggy down there before you head off? Are you cloudy and overcast there?
Yeah, we've been cloudy and overcast since Friday afternoon. Sun barely broke through yesterday at all. I'm not sure if the fox hunt was sunny yesterday. My shoulder the way it was, there's no way I could be walking around trying to carry a handheld and or my fox hunt antenna, trying to find things. So hopefully the fox hunt went well. Maybe we'll hear some details of that. I did enjoy hearing net control over the race net control over the last couple of days. That was enjoyable to hear some of the net control folks there as well. So hopefully that went well. Hopefully there weren't any negative things that happened to the runners. Hopefully everybody got down safe. So thanks for being there, sir. Deeply appreciated. Everybody have a great day. Again, 73 KB6LUV.
All right, thanks for that. Yeah, I'm sure I'll hear more about the breakfast and the fox hunt. I missed it yesterday, but we had grandkids, and I was taking care of things around here with them. So we were having a good morning. And we're having another good morning with one that spent the night. Have a great day, Brett. KB6LUV, KW6U73. All right. It happens to be National Kids and Pets Day, and we've kind of touched on both of those a little bit, but if maybe other people have some comments. Let's see who's out there. I'll go ahead and take check-ins of all kinds. Please let me know if you are in and out. Wow, people really must be sleeping in today. Well, there's a couple of other national days today. It is Audubon Day. Birds everywhere. I'd have to take a look at that. The Audubon has a preserve over here on the bay area near Marin Headlands. If you're from Northern California and you've not been there before, you should go. That's where the great blue herons, white herons, where the herons nest up in the trees there, and among other birds that are amazing. So it's an Audubon sponsored preserve, which is kind of neat. What else is it today? International Chernobyl Disaster Remembrance Day. That was a big deal a while back. I think it's something we shouldn't forget. Thankfully, today's modern nuclear reactor designs, as they start to come online, are much, much safer than the Chernobyl accident. Let's see. What else is there today? Oh, National Jason Day. Okay, if your name is Jason, it's your day. And National Pet Parents Day. Who doesn't want or have a pet in their life? They're a lot of fun. KW6U for the Coffee Break Net. Trying to keep the airwaves warm and alive. If you're just waking up, grab your cup of coffee and come hang out with me for a bit this morning. And we'll go ahead and take some check-ins. Let me know if you are in and out.
W6E, in and out.
November 6, Romeo, Juliet, Charlie, in and out, over.
KD3HAN, Kilo Delta 3, Alpha Juliet, November, in and out.
All righty. Good morning, Hannah. Now over you, KB3AJN and N6RJC. I have you. And Gerry, good morning. WA6E as an in and out. Happy Sunday.
Good morning, Jeff, and everybody. This is WA6E. Yeah, happy Sunday. Looking out the window here. It looks foggy, rainy, kind of cold. I don't know what the temperature is. Let me look. Not as bad as back east, but 48 degrees. That's pretty cool for us. Getting ready to go to work for my grueling 3-hour work week. You out wearing out pairs of shoes, getting ready for your big hike?
I have been wearing out my shoes. I'm trying to stick to the same pair and see how long it lasts. They're a good pair. But right now I am going through the logistics of it all and packing, and I'll be sending off some boxes this week.
And to where are you sending these boxes?
Oh, to different post offices along the way. I'll send one out for the first pickup. That's day 3, and then again at day 7.
Oh, pre-positioning supplies. What a great idea. How many pairs of shoes are you using? Hiking boots or running shoes or what? How many pair do you expect to go through on this journey?
The average for the Pacific Crest Trail is about 4 pairs, so 3.5 to 4.5 pairs of shoes. I don't know where the halves come from, probably because it varies quite a bit. I expect to go through at least probably 3 pairs, maybe a little bit more, but right in that normal range.
I was going to ask you how many miles per pair of shoes you get, like miles per gallon, but you probably don't know yet. Well, that's going to be interesting. How many pairs are you going to carry with you in case one breaks while you're en route? And are these hiking boots?
I'm actually using a pair of running shoes. They have I had to go through a couple of different pairs to try out before I went on. Lighter is better. I am used to hiking in boots, but if you really think about it, over the miles that you're hiking, you rarely need the boots themselves on the Pacific Crest Trail. So I might use them when I'm going up through parts of John Muir, but other than that, you're not spending a lot of time on shale and things that need that ankle support.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that ankle support. When I go out and go hiking on the trails right around here, I just have on what I used to call my tennies. I guess they're now called running shoes that you buy over at Walmart for $50 and wear those puppies out. But they do wear out pretty fast, so hopefully things will go well. And we're coming up on D-Day, aren't we?
Yes, we are. This is, in fact, the last Coffee Break Net I'll be doing for a while. I'll probably check in when I can from a repeater phone as I'm hiking along. But that's coming up. So we'll be leaving next week to head out to our daughters to hang out for a little bit, and then down to San Diego, and then across over to Campo, where the launch point is.
Very good. We're headed down to San Diego this week. Had a cousin that died, so the family's gathering. Not a fun event. Are you going to keep a blog or make video as you go along so you can convert it into an Academy Award-winning movie?
That feels like I'm a job. This is not supposed to be a job. I'll take some notes, write my thoughts down, or at least voice dictate my thoughts down. There's plenty of room on an iPhone for that. So I'll see what I can do with that. But for the most part, I'm probably not going to spend too much time creating a new job for myself.
Given that everybody likes to bet on everything these days, maybe we ought to have a pool on how many pounds you're going to lose on this trip. And we have to keep it into ounces because this is a real fine, detailed event. What are you expecting?
I would guess at this point, I'm probably going to lose somewhere around 15 pounds. That'd be my guess. Where I'm at right now, maybe a little more. I could lose as much as 20, but I doubt that I'll go down the whole 20.
Well, when you come back, if you turn sideways and don't cast a shadow, we'll know that you exceeded beyond your wildest dreams. I'll let you get on to others. I just wanted to say hello before I left for my job. So have a good one, and thanks for running the net. And if I don't talk to you again, good luck on the trail. I'll look forward to hearing the reports. This is W6E. So long.
Hi, Gerry. Enjoy your morning. Enjoy your job. And we'll catch you next time. W6EK KW6U73.
73.
And good morning, Robert in 6RJC. How's your morning?
Great so far, and that's always a positive thing to at least start off on a positive note. And going to be heading to the gym as usual. Also at about 2 o'clock today, a friend of mine, Elmer friend of mine, are going to go out to a fox hunt at Cameron Park, or Carmichael Park, excuse me, and sponsored by the Capital Radio Club, and do that event, and then come back and have some lemon bars Karen made last night. So I'll have something to look forward to after I get home. Over.
Oh my, hey, sounds like a lot of fun. Fox are a blast, and I'm glad that the Capital Radio Club's doing one. But you know what? To polish off the day with lemon bars,
Yeah, that'll probably actually be the highlight of my day anyway. I love those things. Eat way too many of them. That's the reason I try to get to the gym pretty much every day. Over.
Yeah, you would need to hit the gym every day if you're having that many lemon bars. I've made a batch. The last time I made a batch was probably about 6 months ago. And they get made around here about once every year or two.
Yeah, Karen comes in with the lemons off the tree and always asks me, what do I want? And I always say lemon bars, but it's nice she asks anyway. But other than that, that's my day-to-day. I did start off slow. Sounds like a lot of other people are starting off slow today. And on that positive, happy note, I'm just going to say November 6th, Romeo, Juliet, Charlie. I'm going to turn it back over to you guys and monitor for a bit and then head to the gym. Over.
Well, Robert, have a great day. It sounds like you have a day out that's planned, and I'd love the finish with the lemon bars. N6 RJC KW6U73. Good morning, Anna. KD3AJN, how are you this morning, and what's going on in your day?
Good morning, Jeff, and everyone else on the net this morning. Not too much going on here. Just hanging around the house, and we're going to listen to the Pittsburgh Pirates game this afternoon. And that's about it. And just a relaxing day.
I think everyone's starting out with a nice, relaxing Sunday, and I don't blame them. This is going to be a good day for that.
Yes, it is a good day to relax. I guess the NFL draft went well, and Pittsburgh's calming down now because people are going home. And I guess they had a record attendance, and everything went well.
I haven't paid much attention to that. I'm sure I'll get some news from folks on that as we move along here. The NFL draft is not something I usually follow. Although I like watching football, I don't study the details very much.
I follow the draft a little bit. I don't really get into it as much as some people do, but I really like to watch football. And I heard that the Steelers picked up some players that I'm excited about for this coming.
If I have a friend, she does a great job of tracking all of the college players and can name, probably has watched the draft. So when I meet with her, we'll go ahead and have dinner here soon before I take off, and we'll end up. I'll get the full skinny on who's going where. Not that I'll remember.
Well, get the details, Jeff. You'll enjoy it. I just got a phone call, so I have to go. So you have a great day and have a good trip. Hope you do well. KD3AJN.
All right, Anna, take your call. Have a great day. KD3AJN, KW6U73. Well, good morning. This is the Coffee Break Net. Nice, slow, easy morning today, which I kind of enjoy. I still have some coffee left, but I am on my third cup. KW6U. Taking check-ins this morning. Please let me know if you are in and out. Well, if that was a station trying to reach me, I didn't hear much of anything but fuzz. So if you're in maybe get to a better location, stand taller, and then try again. We'll go ahead and take more check-ins here. This is KW6U for the Coffee Break Net. Was anyone able to hear that? I've got nothing but fuzz and hiss. I heard absolutely nothing.
KV6LUV. I just heard fuzz. No carrier. No text.
Thank you, Brett. There was a KN6 station that was coming in as well. Hey, good morning, Brian. Let me get back to this other station. I think they're keying up on at least on All-Star here. I'm getting it from England, and I'm sorry, the station, I'm showing MB7IUK, it's probably another station, but it is not coming through. We're only getting fuzz. We're not getting much of anything else, nothing intelligible. So, I don't know what arrangements we need to make. We'll try something else here in a minute. Good morning, Brian. I'll come back to you right away. How are you? Haven't heard your voice in a while. Well, I am doing great. Brian, I don't know if you've heard, you've been off the grid for a little bit, so it's nice to have you back on the air. Hopefully life is going well. But I'm about ready to head off for the Pacific Crest Trail. I leave next week. Actually, my actual launch date is May 8th to hike the Pacific Crest Trail, but we leave and head down to Southern California to hang out with our daughter for a little bit, and then San Diego, and then off. So that's what's going on with me. Everything's been revolving around planning for that.
Jeff, is Brian on the output of the repeater? We're not hearing him on Echolink, K06TH.
So stand by, Brian. And Greg, come again. I think, is he working on the repeater? I didn't hear what you said exactly.
I'm not hearing him on Echolink, so I'm guessing he's on the output of the repeater if you're hearing him. K06TH, I got a cat that's about to show up.
Yeah, I don't actually know the answer to that question, Greg. I apologize. Brian is probably asleep right now. He should be taking a nap at minimum. He was up until after 2 a.m. Were you out there yesterday as well?
My shift ended at 5 when Brian came on, and Millie is not feeling well. I didn't get back to you. K06TH, just checking. I'm not hearing, I didn't hear anything on Echolink, so I'm guessing either he's on the output or we got a plumbing problem. K06TH.
He's not on RF either, KI6LOP.
Yeah, I don't know what the solution will be, and hopefully somebody will figure it out with us. Okay. All right, Greg, check in later on if you feel like it. Brian, back to you, by the way. My goal is to through hike the entire Pacific Crest Trail. We're going to see how well that works out for me, but I've been training for it, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. Yeah, I'm not really worried about the shenanigans. The shenanigans that usually happen are people themselves getting off of the trail, not knowing where they are, and stumbling into issues. And so when you're on the trail itself, it's fewer shenanigans.
Comment.
Wow, fantastic! A nice trip to Greece during the high season. When do you leave for that? Well, when you get back, you're going to have to tell us all about the food. I know the history is amazing, and it's interesting, but I'm really mostly interested in the food. We have a lot of that stuff available here, but it's just different when you get to the origin, and you actually get the flavors and the aromas of the way things were intended versus whatever awkward version we try to do here. Yeah, we were in Italy a year or so ago with our daughter's wedding, and that was our first visit over to Europe in general, and moving around Italy quickly was like a survey. But the thing I noticed almost immediately were certain aspects of the food. Just the first thing I noticed that was very different was the bread, and I want to say that it was so simple and perfect, just well balanced, and so everything you put on the bread was just lovely. And then of course the other parts that come with it. We never had a bad meal there.
KO6TH.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, Brian is transmitting on the output of the repeater, just simplex, and push the button, Brian. You got to go. We got to duplex. Yeah, because we're not hearing you on the repeater or on Echolink or on AllStar, just on RF on the output. KO6TH.
Did you get that, Brian? I don't know if that was exactly referring to you. I hear you just fine, but how funny.
No, he's on the input.
Brian, because I'm hearing you well and we're communicating both directions, Greg, do we think this might be on the internet side? I'm hearing you well and we're communicating both.
No, I'm hearing Brian on the output of the repeater. He's on the output of the repeater, so he's just transmitting a simplex on 145.43. Because I can hear him on my radio here in the shack, just on the output. So he can't be on the output and input at the same time. So he's just transmitting a simplex. You're just picking him up directly from there. I can't imagine how else it's happening. KO6TH.
Does that make sense, Brian? So I'll have to switch over to repeater mode here, and you're just 600 hertz off. Yeah, Brian, I think one of the reasons why it's working is because you and I have line of sight as well. So, all right, Brian, go ahead and fiddle and check back with us, and we'll catch you in a bit. KM6MGM, KW6U73. And Greg, thank you very much for information on that. Appreciate it. Good morning, Coffee Break Net. Go ahead and take in some more check-ins while folks are fiddling with things. And let's find out. Let me know if you're in and out. What's going on with your day?
KM6 RFB.
KG6GIA, KG6GIA, Dave, Southern Cal.
Kilo Charlie 6, Sierra Lima Echo.
DCL.
W6EK GT.
right, let me go through a couple of these here. I'll tell you who I have. There was a 6 AGT. Was that a whiskey 6 AGT?
Roger that.
All right, whiskey 6 AGT. And then there was a double with Graydon Green to KC6 SLE. And I heard, and I don't know if it's correct, HTM. What was your call sign? All right, we'll go through the doubles here. So Great Neff got you KC6 SLE, Dave KG6GIA, and Scott KM6 RFB. Did I miss anyone? All right, well, I'll go up front to Scott, KM6 RFB. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff in the net. And real quick side note, if AIA6US is on the net, check your email. I have a response to the question you asked me yesterday at the breakfast. Other than that, I'm just having fun. Not doing much today. I have to run over to Costco to get some potting soil. But other than that, that's about it.
Wow, so normally your day is full of plenty of chores and whatnot, but you're going to take it easy and do a little potting.
Hold on there. You made an assumption that I was going to do the potting. The other half is working on some plants and some strawberry beds in a pot, so she's doing it.
So you're just gathering materials and running the chores. Well, that's good.
Yes, I'm being a good logistics person.
That's what you do, no doubt about it. Go run the errands. Well, that's pretty good. So you were at the breakfast yesterday. Did you participate in the fox hunt? And if not, how was the breakfast?
Yes, I was at the breakfast. No, I didn't attend the fox hunt. I had to go do some other things, finish up some stuff in my backyard. But other than that, the breakfast was great. It's always good to see people and talk and conversation. And, the nice thing about the breakfast is you never know, A, who you're going to meet. B, you never know who's going to sit next to you or across from you. And you never really know what conversations you're going to get involved with and learn more about people. And that's the one great thing that I really enjoy about our club breakfast is every month it's something new.
It's quite the mixer, isn't it? You're hanging out and talking about, sometimes it's ham radio and often it's something else entirely. And, different folks rotate through and you end up sitting somewhere different and chat with somebody you hadn't in a long time. So I love the Saturday breakfast. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to go lately. Just my Saturdays have been full with family stuff. But that said, that sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks for mentioning that.
Absolutely. And to Graydon, who just popped on, Graydon, I'm put together an email for you in regards to the one you sent me, so be on the look for that. Other than that, Jeff, I'm going to go ahead and give it back to you and have a great day. And it's starting to rain here in Lincoln, so everybody be safe out there and have a great one. This is KM6 RFB, back to net.
All right, Scott, thanks for checking in this morning and all that you do for the club and Placer County Aries. KM6 RFB, KW6U73. Good morning, Dave, KG6GIA. How are you this morning, and happy Sunday to you?
KG6GI Dave returning. Hey, happy Sunday to you. Thanks for doing the net. I just pulled into a ranch that I work at. I'm going to hang out today with the tourists and the wildlife. So far, I've had a duck visitation and a bunch of wranglers that are going off on a morning ride. It quit raining here this morning about, I'd say 2 hours ago, but it went pretty much all night. So everything is nice and clean, smells fresh. Still got a bit of, there goes a peacock. Still got a bit of overcast. I'm chowing down on a meat and pepper jack cheese with Thousand Island on sourdough bread and a cowboy coffee. How's that? I wish I'd made the fox hunt. I got all sorts of home-built antennas that everybody would have just loved. And so sadly, well, no, I wouldn't want to say sadly. The only fox hunting I got to do yesterday was chasing the XYL around the house, helping her clean up, and we had dinner together. So that was pretty cool. We had she made up a rosemary and lamb with my slightly soupy au gratin potatoes. Back to you, KG6GIA Dave.
Oh man, I'm a big lamb fan, and so somebody who knows how to do that right. Boy, oh boy, that sounds good. Sounds like you had a really nice day, and you're out there outside right now enjoying another nice day. That's fantastic. I didn't quite pick up where you were at the moment.
KG6GI Dave returning. Well, there's a First California Regional Park down here, about 12 miles east of Disneyland, up in what they call the Peralta Foothills. It used to be a Spanish cattle ranch, and then it was bought up by a family named Irvine, and they had about 109,000 acre parcel up here, and a portion of that they gave to the people of the future, and so that's where I'm at here. This ranch started back 1897 for the public side. The other one was a lot earlier for the family company that ran it prior to that. The first couple of years, I've been here about 29 years. The first couple of years I worked here, we still had longhorns and Brahma, Mexican cattle, everything running all over the place, along with mountain lions and coyotes. It's gotten a lot quieter since they, here comes some Canada geese. A lot quieter since they moved the cattle farther southeast. So, KG6GI Dave.
Oh, that sounds like a beautiful place to be. My daughter is living in Irvine at the moment. We're going to head down next week, so I'll be in the area. That seems like a really cool place to visit.
KG6GI Dave returning. Yeah, absolutely. If you got even just a day off, have her bring you up here and go walk around, or bring a mountain bike, or just rent a horse or something. Bring your own horse if you got one. But it is a neat little island wedged between a lot of big cities, so it's still pretty westerny out here. Anyway, thanks for doing the net. I'm going to get back to eating breakfast here and let you go on to the next group of people. And if I don't catch you today, I'll catch you later in the week. Thanks again for doing the net. Kilo Golf 6 Golf India Alpha Dave 7-3.
All right, Dave, enjoy the wildlife out there and your breakfast. KG6GIA, KW6U73. Good morning, Graydon, KC6SLE. Well, you were at the breakfast yesterday, and did you participate in the fox hunt as well?
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, the net. Yes, I did. It was a light turnout yesterday. I think I wasn't at the breakfast, but I heard from the people that were at the breakfast. It was a light turnout as well. But we had a good fox hunt, even though we had a light turnout. We had 6 people show up, 5 of who actually hunted. The other was the fox tender. And it was a lot of fun, as usual. Matt, KO6INT, did a good job hiding the fox. I drove by it twice before anybody else, and then the third time I drove by it, Brian was out looking for it, and Brian beat me to it. But good for Brian. So Brian came in first, I came in second. It's it's hard to beat Brian. He's right on top of everything.
Well, when you drove by it, did you have a sense it was in the area? You went by it twice, so clearly you were getting signals that were pointing you near there.
There was. I actually had a little operator error with my Yaesu handheld, so I was trying to use my Jeep actually to get as close as I possibly could. And then when we were having lunch yesterday at Burgers and Cream after the fox hunt, Evan was looking at my radio and he says, yeah, it doesn't work like you expect most handhelds to work, but he says, if you push this little button here, Graydon, it'll do what you want to do. And it was like, oh, the monitor button. I mean, how many of us have forgot we have a monitor button on our HTs?
How funny. Oh, I've forgotten quite a bit about that. Yeah, well, I've got a couple of favorite methods for fox hunting, but so far my very favorite, and it worked quite well when I was doing the overall broader search, was riding my motorcycle with the HT in my front pocket so I could body block as I, would do circles in a side street and would get a direction based on that. It was fun.
Going to do a little more research. I've been taking the FT65 out. It's one of my favorite handhelds. I mean, it's built like a brick. Has great audio. So, it's kind of when I grab an HT, it's kind of my first choice. But it's got the quietest front end, and that's because even when you turn the squelch completely off, it is dead. You hear nothing. You don't hear any static or anything. You push the monitor button, and it kills it completely. So that's not a good radio for fox hunting. I've decided I need to take my Kenwood. It's much more sensitive, much more adjustable. But the Kenwood's it's good for what I use it for around here.
Yeah, the sensitivity differences there make a difference. I like my FTDX 70, not FTDX 70. My little small Yaesu is the 70 DR. So that one I like. It has a little signal meter on it, so when I am having trouble, I can at least get a sense for things that way. It seems to work pretty well.
So there are, once again, the only piece of equipment I took on the hunt yesterday, besides the radio in my Jeep to get close, and then the handheld, that was pretty much it. So if you think you need a lot of equipment to go out and successfully fox hunt, you do not. It's, we'll probably get back into doing fox hunts where we'll need to have our directional antennas, take some bearings. Brian and I talked about it after the hunt during the debrief yesterday. We haven't done that in a while, and Jeff, I remember some of the first fox hunts we had, it was you and I sitting up above Home Depot on that little knoll with our antennas trying to take a bearing. Remember, we were new to it, and we were trying to take a bearing and figure out different positions and where they intercepted to find where the fox was. I believe at that time it was actually in recreational park.
I remember that as well, and it's easy to get confused when you're first learning it. Sometimes we don't need nearly as much antenna as we think. It all depends on what we're hunting and how where it's at and what kind of reflections we're getting and all the confusion that comes with that.
Maybe this will give everybody a chuckle, a laugh, but when Doug and I were really into directional radio finding and fox hunting, Doug came up with, it had to be 13 feet long, I don't know how many elements the Shaggy had. I mean, it had to be like a 14 or 15 element Yagi. And he called me up. He's all excited. He said, let's go. He said, I hit a transmitter. Let's go to the park and set that Yagi up on a big boom. He had made a tripod for it. And let's see if we can't, narrow this down to within, maybe a few hundred feet. And it was a lot of fun. Doug and I had a lot of fun that day. But I imagine what everybody in the park thought. We're out there with this god-awful size antenna, swinging it around, taking measurements and all that. So we were doing what engineers do.
It sure is fun to experiment, no doubt about it. And with today's equipment, you can really figure things out. But it's fun to kind of play around with the different methods and a big antenna and seeing how much of a difference it makes.
Now that I think about it, that might have been the antenna that John was trying to sell at the Loomis Hamfest. And as a joke, during the Loomis Hamfest, many of you may have seen it, he actually strapped it to the side of his Jeep and told people, no, that's my mobile antenna.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh, strapped it to the side. And it would work. It would work just fine. There's plenty of elements on there.
It would. Anyway, I better let you work your way on down the list. You must be getting really excited because the days are ticking by. Now, you're leaving on May 6th?
My actual launch date on the trail is May 8th. We'll be heading down next week to spend some time with our daughter before I head off.
So you got your communications all worked out, your charging protocol worked out. Got to be exciting.
It is. By the way, I've been trying to figure out, I've got the T-Mobile eSIM. It works as well as my AT&T, so when I'm in the AT&T territory, that takes priority. And when I'm out in the middle of nowhere, I'll have T-Mobile and StarLink data and texting. So, when there's no signal, I at least have StarLink. I also have my Garmin, nReach Mini 3 Plus, which will be also a satellite alternate system. So I have my primary, which is really the GPS on the Garmin, and my back is my phone, which I can turn on when I need, and more detailed maps and information. So I think I'm going to be pretty good. I'm curious to see where I have any kind of dead zone.
Well, you may not, which would be excellent. I think I heard you talk to somebody else the other day about coming up with a schedule, kind of a protocol that, and I'm sure you're going to be retiring early in the evening, if not stargazing. That's the other thing I was going to remind you is don't forget to take along some simple books on the planets and the stars, because you're going to have lots of time to watch that. That'll be really fun. But I think you're going to come up with a schedule so those of us that are following along virtually can maybe catch you transmitting.
Well, I'll be able to reach in via the repeater phone. So hopefully I'll be able to check into the Coffee Break Net at some point. As far as a schedule is concerned, yes, I have a spreadsheet that is a predictive mile. If I average it out at 20 miles a day, and when I get to certain milestones, I put in the date that I hit that milestone. It'll predict the next dates out through the entire schedule. So I'll be able to estimate where I'm going to be within some reasonable time frame at 20 miles a day. If I start getting faster than that, the prediction, of course, changes, and it's kind of fun.
Well, that would be excellent. If you don't mind shooting me a copy of that, I would appreciate it. I'd like to follow along with you. The other thing is 20 miles a day. I assume that's an average, right?
Yeah, that would have to be an average. Most likely what's going to happen is I'll start out slow. people tend to pick up speed, and I'm sure I'll be picking up past 20, 25. I'm already, it takes me 6 hours right now to cover 16 miles. So it's not too bad at the moment. I'm sure fitness level will improve, and I'll end up, and that's only 6 hours. So if I'm able to, rest a little bit and then hike another 3 hours, I'll be into almost 20 miles a day right out the gate. And so I expect that's not going to be the case. I'm thinking, a little slower in the beginning and then picking up steam as time goes on to 25 and maybe as many as 30 miles on some days.
Well, that's an impressive goal because I don't think people realize the terrain that you're going to be going over. The stuff I looked up on the Pacific Crest Trail is from one end of the other, from Mexico to Canada. The elevation change, the cumulative elevation change is 300,000 feet.
Yeah, and I think often not just the big climbs that you do, those kind of slow you down. The downhills are sometimes harder and more technical than the uphills. It's you have to be a little more careful going downhill. It's easy to get sloppy and take a spill. So my main goal through the whole thing is to not get injured.
That is an excellent goal. So, pay attention to that. Going downhill is much harder, as you know, on joints, the body, everything else, because you're trying to hold your weight, stop it, decelerate it. Anyway, I'm going to let you move on. It's always a pleasure talking to you, Jeff. I will wish everybody an excellent day. The rain caught me by surprise. I thought the rain was coming in tonight. Maybe I looked at my weather app wrong. But rain caught me by surprise. I had some things out that I'd half painted that got wet. Didn't make me happy. But I got those dry this morning, and I'll have to wait for the sun to come out to finish painting them. Anyway, everybody have a great day. Thank you, Jeff. KC6 SLE.
All right, Graydon. Enjoy your morning. Happy Sunday, and thanks for the Fox Hunt Report and all that you do for the club. KC6 SLE, KW6U 73. All right, Whiskey 6, Alpha Golf Tango. Adam, good morning. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, Jeff. I'm doing really well. I'm getting a little far from the repeater, though. Can you hear me okay?
I can. You must be on the road, and hopefully you're not headed into a shadow, but I hear you fine.
Yeah, roger that. I'm headed to the far side of Sacramento to a tool swap at Woodcraft. I'm pretty sure they were not hoping for rain. I'm not sure what that's going to be like, a bunch of metal tools and out in the rain, but hopefully they were prepared for it, and hopefully there's still a lot of good stuff when I get there, because I'm running a little bit behind today, as usual.
Oh, interesting, a tool swap. So they swap me for all things tools, particularly, are you looking at woodworking stuff?
Yeah, roger that. It's all woodworking stuff, and I love older tools. I like to restore and use them. I don't collect them for value, but old planes, old saws, things of that nature. But I expect there will be a pretty broad selection of new and old tools here. And I don't know, who doesn't love tools?
Yeah, so I have a few of my grandfather's old tools. He had quite a bit, but when he passed away, I was overseas and I was not able to get into the garage before most of it was sold in a garage sale many years ago. And I love the aesthetics of some of the older tools.
Yeah, same here. They're just made better, made well. If you go back far enough, they have more style. You look at some of the old saws, and the handles kind of look like the devil's horns, but they're very specifically designed for reasons, and they're just much more aesthetically pleasing. But I enjoy using them, so if I can use an old tool versus a new tool, that would be my preference. And I love to go to the garage sales and try to see what I can find. My wife gives me a hard time because, you know, I always bring something home, and in her words, I have enough crap for 5 people. So anyway, that's where I'm headed. Just hit Highway 50, headed south now towards that location, and yeah, I wanted to say Pacific Crest Trail. That's awesome. That's something I would love to do.
Well, it's been a lifelong thing for me. I turned 21 on the Pacific Crest Trail, not hiking it, through hiking. I was hiking from Tuolumne Meadows to Lake Tahoe, and I turned 21 along the Pacific Crest Trail, and had been wanting to hike the entire thing since then. So it took me until I retired last year to start making a plan, and it's possible that I could turn 61 along the Pacific Crest Trail somewhere near, if I can make it happen, on the same weekend or place that I was at when I turned 21. So it's about the timing that I would be there.
Well, that's awesome and very inspirational that you're trying to take this on, at 61. And I'm approaching 60, and I have aspirations to do the same sometime. I don't know that I'll hike the whole thing, but if I could at least hike portions of it and try to stitch it together over time, that would be great. I've been going to the gym 3 days a week now, trying to come down to my fighting weight again and get back on my mountain bike, trying to get out and hike more frequently. So, hey, more power to you. I wish you the very best. I think that's you're going to have an awesome time. And yeah, if you're posting somewhere, be sure you let us know where that is so we can kind of follow you, vicariously and see how things are going along the way.
I'll try and do that. I'll make sure folks know where I'm at along the way, and hopefully it goes according to plan. I'm just looking forward to the adventure, and we'll see where it takes me. But that said, thanks again for the well wishes, and I'll try and make sure that I am checking into the Coffee Break Net and letting folks know about where I'm at. Anyway, have fun at the tool swap. I'm sure you'll find some prizes there, and hopefully something you can't live without.
Yeah, Roger, thanks for that. And I'm sad I missed the club breakfast the other day. I was hoping to go, but I overslept, and I had a big honey-do list, so I just couldn't make it. But anyway, glad you guys had a great time, and I'll give it back to the net here. This is W6EK clearing out. Everyone have a great day, 7-3.
All right, Adam, have a great day. W6AGT 7-3. Hey, good morning, Coffee Break Net. This is KW6U. Taking some more check-ins today. We've just been chatting about whatever, nothing special. But come and enjoy, sit down with us. You've got your coffee by now. It is a slow, foggy morning here in Auburn, California. Low-flying clouds, waiting for a little bit of rain later on, but it feels like spring. KW6U, taking check-ins. Please let me know if you are an in and out.
KCFQV, good morning. KCFQV, Mark, Ohio. Kilo November 6, Yankee Charlie Golf.
And R6H, good morning.
KO6TH, good morning.
All right, let me go through who I have here so I can make sure I've got a couple of doubles in there. But KO6TH, good morning. NR6H, hey, good morning. Patrick, KN6YCG, good morning. Mark, KC8FQV, good morning. And who did I miss?
K6DCL.
All right, Dave. Good morning, K6DCL. Well, let's head up to Mark. Good morning, KC8FQV. How are you this morning? Any plans for your foggy Sunday?
All right. going to go down, watch a baseball game, look at a house. We're not looking for a house, but the one kids are, so we're going to go down there. Yeah, it's Gray, Ohio. Gray, Ohio, we always talk about that. 'Cause that seems like it's always cloudy. But in the 50s, so other than that. Yeah, coming down through, they keep building these, when they rebuild the freeways, they keep putting up these sound barrier walls. So when you go through some of the areas where the houses are close to the road in the city, they're putting sound barrier walls up. And, it used to be nice to be look into the city, but when you get to the city, you're just going through a concrete trench. I guess they'll have to change the freeways to concrete trenches. That's what they look like when you go through them when they put all them sound walls up. Although they're now making them look a little nicer now because they're putting some architectural figures into the walls rather than be just a concrete wall. So we'll send it back to net, KSFQV.
Sometimes that can be nice when they put some architectural features. Well, if Elon Musk had his way, most of the freeways through town would be underground and you wouldn't have a view at all. And perhaps we'll be going that direction someday.
Yes, that could. The biggest thing you have to worry about is these self-driving cars when they start doing construction where they do lane shifts and that. Yeah, the cars are not self-driving. They're self-guiding. They'll guide you, but you still got to help them. I think that's what they need to do. They need to change it from self-driving to self-guiding. I think if we said self-guiding, people would maybe, we got to guide the car a little bit. KSFQV.
Yeah, and that's where it's at right now. It's remarkable how they work. I was in one the other day through the neighborhood, and they can get confused depending on what's going on. But for the most part, all they do is stop. That said, drive safe out there. Enjoy your day out in Gray, Ohio. It feels probably about the same here at the moment. So.
All right, I'll say 73 and let you go and get more check-ins. And it sounded like yesterday might have went pretty good after you had that little snafu when it switched over. Okay, KSFQV.
Yeah, they had a net going on, basically a local event that was being covered. We're getting ready for the biggest event of the year for racers in our area, Western States Endurance Run, a big deal at the end of June. And then, these are some local events that are qualifying and or training events. The Canyons Run was what was being covered. So our repeater was turned over for that use, and they did a great job with it.
Yeah, but that little snafu when you guys went to auto and right at the end when it got that looping going, I don't know what happened there. You guys were, I guess eventually you did get it taken care of. So I would say 7-3 and listen along now, KSFQV.
All right, Mark, we'll catch you next time. Thanks for checking in, and we'll have a good day. KC8FQV, KW6U73. Morning, Patrick, KN6YCG. How are you this morning?
Good morning. It's a little chilly here in Boulder, Colorado. I'm going to try to get closer to my Wi-Fi here so I sound a little bit better. And I'm not sure, I think it was Brian I was talking to the other morning about my anxiety because I had a concrete truck on its way to fill some forms.
Yeah, the concrete is a big deal, and it is anxiety-producing when you're pouring your concrete. If the truck takes too long to get there, Yep, that's never fun, but you got that taken care of. It all went well.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily timing for the truck to arrive. I had formed up some retaining walls, and it was just my wife and I that we were going to be doing the finishing. And I was very, very lucky that the driver was training a new driver, so it happened to be the big boss and the newest guy, and they jumped right in and helped us do our finish work, which I graciously tipped them and thanked them.
Oh, that's fantastic. Finish work's actually kind of tough, and I know what you mean by the anxiety part of that, having done some of that before. And by all means, that's good. They were able to help out and make things happen. Great customer service.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And we have one more section to pull probably this week, and I'm working on the forms for that right now. But yeah, just out here trying to get some work done before the rain comes down this afternoon, and listening to my friends back there on the West Coast. And I always love hearing about Western States 100. It's something that I've run the training camp distances. I have qualified as a runner for the race. I've crewed and paced the race. I have not yet worked as a ham operator at the event, though.
Well, it's definitely worthwhile. They always need volunteers. It keeps the ones that are there, taking breaks, and keeps things more professional and more accurate when folks don't get fatigued too much. And so it's an important job. It's still needed. Even with today's level of communications that are being integrated in, there are many, many spots where you cannot get out of the canyons except via ham radio. So it's good to have that support.
Yeah, we'll be monitoring this year. I think I'll actually be in Florida at that point. But this year is somewhat of a stacked race in the men's division, so it should be a fun one. A handful of the record setters are racing against each other this year again, so should be good. And what's the prediction for snow at the end of June this year? I know the trail has been snowed in the past. What's the weather like in the Sierras right now?
This is something I need to check myself. I haven't looked it up recently. As of originally at April 1st, we were at 18% of normal, very, very low, and then we had a snowstorm come through and pack some more in there. So I don't know what the current report is and predictive for the end of June. I'm sure it's changed, but it is probably still below normal and maybe less snow then.
Yeah, if you're a runner or into running, there's nothing more exciting than watching an elite runner like a Jim Walmsley, do a 6.5-minute pace through the snow. It's just super impressive what these people do, men and women, both of them. It's just crazy out there. Anyway, I'm going to get back to work. I'll be monitoring, and it's always good talking to everybody and hearing from everybody. And I'll be back in California maybe in a couple weeks, and maybe communicate locally and not just with my Echolink. Anyway, this is Patrick, KN6YCG, calling in from Boulder, Colorado. 7-3. Have a great weekend.
All right, Patrick. Hey, thanks for checking into the net. Yes, we'll look forward to hearing you again more locally. KN6YCG, KW6U, 7-3. Good morning, Anders in our 6H. How are you this morning, and what's going on with you today?
Good morning. I'm out in the wet and cold here. We have a little event going today with the North Hills group, where we're up in a park, and we're going to set up some radios, and we're going to see if they work in the wet and cold.
Well, hopefully they will not be wet radios. It'll be cold. You at least have a tent over them, and maybe they will continue to work then.
Oh yeah, there are plenty of very experienced hams here already. I'm by no means first on the site, and they
they are very well experienced with fighting the elements when they set up their gear. So yeah, it's up in Lou Howard Park in Folsom, and it's open for anyone that wants to come by and just talk radio, because usually what we do, we set these things up, and then the idea is, oh yeah, we're going to operate all day, and then all it ends up being face-to-face QSOs. That's what happens. So it's a social event. If anybody wants to come by, very welcome. And one thing that could be the fun is for anyone that's a technician. There is going to be HF gear here, so you get a chance to see how that looks. And if you want to play on HF, we can make that happen today. So that's an open invite for anyone. Lou Howard Park in Folsom. All the info is on kilo6indiasierra.org if somebody wants to come by.
That's great. Yeah, it's always nice to have these social events to get out there and do something, especially for those folks that don't have HF privileges and want to learn more about what kinds of setups they may want in the future and incentivize them to upgrade.
For sure. Just want to roll back real quick also, just a quick comment about the self-driving cars. I am totally amazed about that. I've been down, every time I'm down in San Francisco, I take the Waymos, and they are so cool. They are navigating the traffic, they're not hitting people, and they're finding places to squeeze in and stop when they need to. I'm totally stoked about that, and the rumor is that they're coming to Folsom here during sometime 2026. I'm going to be a user for sure. I love those things. They're awesome. I joke about that when my son was little, and he said, "Oh, Dad, what's your favorite car?" I said, "Any car where I don't have to drive." I'd have my own Waymo if I could.
I found the Waymos to be very impressive in San Francisco also. I'm looking forward to trying out Robotaxi when that shows up in the area. Between the two of them, they completely different solutions to problems. But I'm looking forward to it in the future more than currently. I like the idea of not having to drive myself as well, and to be able to entertain myself on especially longer trips, but even local trips. You know, you just wouldn't stop yourself from going here or there if you didn't have to drive. How many times do we decide not to go just to avoid traffic?
Right, exactly. Yeah, sitting in the back seat, relaxing, doing something else. That sounds really good. Being productive while driving, that would be super. Love that idea for sure. Let's see, what else is new? So last night was interesting. We had an event here in Folsom called Framily Fest, and it was a reggae night, and you can imagine the clientele that came to that. So there was all kind of paraphernalia available, and there was music in the park, and even though the weather was a little muggy and cold, somewhat good turnout, I don't know, a few hundred people, and reggae music. Not my typical genre, but it was actually fun, and I was there not as a guest, but as a first aid station, so it didn't really go for the entertainment, but it was very entertaining. So just putting that in there, that reggae is actually more fun than I thought. I didn't know that, but anyway. Big aside, hope everybody's doing good in the rain and stay out of the cold, so I'm going to leave it back to Net and R6H.
Anders, if somebody wants to find out where you got you at Lou Howard Park in Folsom, but are you going to be on the repeater at K6IS or something locally that somebody can call in and find you?
Yeah, Roger. I believe that there's going to be plenty of people monitoring Kilo6indiasierra K6IS, and then if you want to go to get a map, you can go to Kilo6indiasierra.org. So K6IS.org. There is a map right there on the website, so that's a way to get here. But it's on Folsom Auburn, close to Folsom, where the McDonald's is. Basically, you turn in and you get up to the park that way. So that's where we are.
Very good. All right. Well, have fun today, and hopefully folks will find their way to you, and you'll have a blast. NR6H, KW6U, 73.
73, have a good day, NR6H.
Morning, Greg, KO60H. Well, thanks for checking in earlier and help fixing problems. now, how is your day going?
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, everyone. Greg, KO60H. Yeah, just kind of continuing on from the weekend. We had, I had 2 shifts at the Canyon Endurance Runs, plural. There's 4 distances, some of them running concurrently, and so it's kind of exciting at times. We had our share of radio problems, our share of runners doing things that, like where did you come from? Where did you go? Kind of stuff. I had one station trying to close down. They were done, but there were still runners unaccounted for, and that started kind of whittling down. We had problems with the vests not scanning properly, so problems there. But great event overall. Ended up. I don't think we lost anybody. No big crises, no major injuries that I've heard of. We had Sam, K6LGU, was shadowing me during for the net control station on Saturday. He was doing great, so we put him on a radio, and he graduated from a shadow to net control operator for one of the repeaters, and did a great job. So. Success all the way around. Back to you, Jeff, KO60H.
It's a big deal to work these events and make sure that we don't lose runners. That is the main function, and to handle emergencies if they should happen. Boy, keeping track of everybody that's running out there, especially when after dark, it's pretty tough. They can easily get lost and finding their way on a different trail despite all the marking that goes on. And so very important to be part of that radio communication going through. So it's pretty tough when something's not working, but it's a shakedown setup for Western states itself, if nothing else.
Yeah, it is definitely giving guys the bottom half of the course good exercise and a lot of the radio setups and that kind of stuff. We had one just massive puzzle. Joe, K6SAT, finally figured out what was going on. We had stations breaking in on one of the repeaters, just talking over us, and it's like, what is going on? Turned a simplex repeater, or no, anyways, is a station down at a volcano. They were just having a chat, and turned out that the output of their system was the input of a crossband repeater into into one of the repeaters being used for the event, and we could not figure out where this audio was coming from. It just happened that the frequencies collided, and we still don't know what's going on because we had a PL on our input, and they had a PL on their output, and they were different PLs, and we can't figure out how that was working. But something was going on there. So we still have some cleanup to do. Cleanup on aisle 9 to figure out what was going on there. That was a puzzle. So it was good. It was we had everything happen. Nothing huge. There's one big kerfuffle during the night on Friday night apparently that I wasn't involved with, but I don't know how public it is, so I won't detail it. But yeah, there was a problem there. But anyway, other than that, great event. You mentioned low clouds. It rained here last night. It got, according to the rain gauge, 900 of an inch, at least on the electronic one. So we got some rain here in North Auburn, and right now it's just kind of gloomy. No wind, not a breath of wind, and just wet outside. So drying out. Hopefully tomorrow will be a boat day. We'll see how the weather holds up and finish up the work on the galley. KO60H, back to you.
Yeah, I say it's low-flying clouds. We got some rain last night as well, and I was looking outside, and you can just see the mist, the cloud flying through where I'm at here in South Auburn, and of course everything is still wet because these clouds are, everything they touch, it kind of drops the dew on it, and all the rooftops around here are wet rather than, drying out. It's kind of interesting. That said, it is what it is. It's springtime, and you can expect this weird Bay Area type weather coming through. We're getting the Bay influence all the way into Auburn. Hopefully those 4 folks that were running the endurance runs didn't slip and slide themselves into any kind of painful situation. That's not good, but that's why the radio and emergency crews are there to be able to handle those issues.
Oh, definitely. No, it was a dry day. The clouds, I don't know how it was up on the course, how moist it was, but I don't recall any issues with the trail itself. Anyway, on with the day. Great talking to you. Great event yesterday. Or I guess Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We had into Sunday, 2 a.m. Was the cutoff, and looking forward to the Western States run at the end of June on top of field day. Plan right now is new radio for the boat. We'll get its first big tryout. Make big tryout on the boat first, but the big tryout will be from Cal 2, working field day on a new radio. I'm gonna get that thing ordered. My promise is the income tax refund is going to fund that purchase. So that's how I'm justifying it. Is that I know it's my money, but getting a little bit of a windfall on the refund. So yeah, we'll go out and splurge and buy a radio. KO6TH, back to you.
Oh, sounds like fun. Well, have a good day on the boat tomorrow. Hopefully that goes the way you need it to, and hopefully it's sunny over there and warm. KO6TH, KW6U, 73.
I expect it'll be neither sunny nor warm, but at least it won't be raining, and that's all I'm asking for. KO6TH, 73.
Good morning, Dave. K6DCL. How are you this morning, and what's going on up your hillside there?
Good morning, Jeff. Good to hear you. So, you made a comment that I listened to that I forget who you were talking to, but he said he didn't like to drive, and he loves the driverless cars in San Francisco. That's great. I'm all for technology, of course. But you have a motorcycle, don't you? Do you like to drive that?
Absolutely. I'm in the, I like to have the independence to do whatever. And I joke around with my wife, but when we go down to visit our daughter down in Southern California, there's those long stretches of I-5s that I would just prefer to watch a movie and not bother having to drive. And so I'm looking forward to that convenience someday.
Oh, now you got it. That's absolutely. I've been on that many times. In fact, I've been on that from San Diego to the Bay Area on a motorcycle on I-5, and it's the most boring. Oh, we had a chase car with us, a bunch of us on motorcycles, and we had a friend of ours that usually rode motorcycle, but he drove his truck just in case. And and we get up midway to I-5, and she was 41 and I-5. There's a bunch of truck stops and gas stations and food courts and stuff. And he had a flat tire. So the truck had a flat tire. And we got a mechanic to go out to the truck. And he plugged a hole and had his air tank with him and got him going again. So us motorcycles didn't have a problem, but the truck had a problem. But you're right, that I-5 is just boring as tears. and if I had a projector with me, I would have used that to watch a movie on the motorcycle. Anyway, other than that, I got some stuff going on here. I'll take a break. Don't want to ever have another foobar on the repeater. Anyway, I got I don't know whether I told you or not, but I got a few months back Yaesu FTDX10, which I love, and I had it hooked to my vertical antenna, all bands, and but it's I only use that vertical antenna now for my scanner. It's useless, but I was able to get a product from a guy. His first name is Dan. He's on eBay, and I've had some ICOM conversion products from him before, and he had one for any HF radio to the ICOM 730 auto tuner, and so I bought one, and I had to get another adapter cable and all this other stuff. So it took me some time, but I got it this past week, and Lucy and I hooked it all up, and it is so great to be back on HF. I am just amazed at how well this product works, and I can hit the button to do the auto tune, and it works perfectly. Oh my gosh, you know, my SWR was 1.1 on 75 meters, and I love 75 meters and 40 meters mostly, and it works perfectly on all bands, and I just love it. The 730 is a great ICOM auto tuner, and it's just a lot of fun. But back on HF, that's where I'm at.
Well, very good. Glad to hear that's working well with the adapter cable. So you're using your FTDX10 with an adapter cable to the Icon auto tuner. So that's pretty cool that you were able to make that work. It's good to know about things like that. So this guy's named Dan. He's on eBay.
And yes, he is. That's Dan, and he is. I bought an adapter to be able to hook the 730 to my 705 when I had that, and it was flawless, and I was able to tune up right away on the 730 with the 705. So even though that was an ICOM, it was not couldn't communicate without his adapter, because the ICOM 730 has its own plug, just like the 420 did. And so anyway, that's what's going on there. I'm now back into DMR. I have so many radios. It's crazy, and Lucy loves GMRS and listening to all the other shenanigans on VHF as well as HF, and she doesn't like the noise on HF, but we can calm that down. The FTDX10 is an amazing radio. I'm so surprised. You can filter out noise and all that stuff. Anyway, that's all the news that's fit to print. I'm doing pretty good, and I am just wanting to hear you on the Pacific Rim Trail. That is an amazing feat, and I'll be rooting for you all the way, Jeff. You're just something else. That's great. K6DCL73.
Well, thanks for that, Dave. Hopefully things go according to plan, and you'll hear all about it one way or another. Have a great day, Dave. Thank you for checking into the net this morning. And we'll catch you next time. K6DCL, KW6U73. All right, it's a little after 9 o'clock. There might be a few folks that have been waiting for announcements. I know we do those things all the time. I'm going to skip over the regular nets and just kind of move on to some activities that are coming up. Donuts and Coffee in the Park, Saturday, May 9th is coming up. Donuts and Coffee in the Park gets hosted by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club and Coffee Break Net Control Ops. So Coffee Break Net will be run from there. It'll be, a GOTA. We'll get on the air with folks. So if you're new to ham radio, you don't know anything about ham radio, you're certainly welcome to come. Information's on W6EK.org. It'll be a lot of fun. Donuts and Coffee in the Park, nice and early on that Saturday, May 9th. No, it's actually 9 a.m., so enjoy the day. I'm sure the weather's going to be fabulous that day. The last Saturday of every month is the club breakfast. We just had a club breakfast on April 25th. That was followed by a fox hunt. Well, next month will be the same. It's usually followed by a fox hunt right after the club breakfast at Mel's on Highway 49. As the weather gets better, pay attention to the W6EK.org webpage because the club breakfast could change to an alternate location. If we have fine weather, we occasionally move over to Wings over at the Auburn Airport. So that could happen. So keep your eye on the schedule as we get through the summertime here. But by all means, last Saturday of every month, club breakfast and usually a fox hunt to follow it. And let's see, there's also a tech class that just started up. It's started Tuesday, April 21st. That's going on right now, so there'll be a couple of GOTAs on there at 7 p.m. on Zoom. It might not be too late if you're a little behind schedule getting somebody on there, but it's nice to be a part of the classes. You learn quite a bit. There'll be a get on the air on the 9th also, and an antenna build on the 23rd. So the get on the air is also going to be, I think, at that club breakfast as well. The second Friday of every month is a club meeting, so that'll be May 8th, 7:30 p.m. at the Placer County Health and Human Services Conference Center at the Auburn DeWitt Center. Very easy access. It's always nice to see people in person, but as it happens, it's also a great experience on Zoom. So if you cannot come up, by all means, check in on Zoom from anywhere that you can. It's not too difficult to find out. When you do come in person, what's nice is to bring a food bank donation. We are deeply involved with involved monthly with the local food banks, and we appreciate those donations. They certainly appreciate it, and it's a good thing to bring for that meeting.
Comment.
BE exams are on hamstudy.org. If you want to go ahead and go to hamstudy.org to book one of the following sessions. The Sierra Foothills VE team the next one's going to be May 4th, 7 p.m. at the Confluence Church campus in Auburn. The Granite Bay VE group Saturday, May 9th, 9 a.m. at the Rayleigh's Event Center on Douglas and Auburn Folsom, and the Folsom VE team Thursday, May 21st, 6 p.m. in Folsom, California. If you want to know about the nets, you can go to W6EK.org. As per usual, Coffee Break Net is every morning, and we'll just go ahead and skip through all the rest of those nets and get on with our morning. It's been a nice, slow, lazy morning, longer conversations, but by all means, come and check in and just say hi. If you want to be in and out, let me know. This is KW6U for the Coffee Break Net, taking check-ins.
UFO reaches out.
All right, so I think I got Daniel N9MUF and then either a double or a triple. I could not tell. If I did not get you, come again, please.
Kilo Charlie 6.
N-I-6-JB.
You add another double in there, and you can add N6EMS in and out.
This is W9er EGL, Robert in sunny central Alabama.
right, let me run through my list here. W9EGR, I got you there, and Bob N6EMS. AI6JB, great in KC6SLE again. Of course, Daniel, I have you, N9MUF. Did I miss anyone?
Correction on that, that's W9EGL, Whiskey 9 Echo Golf Lima.
All right, Whiskey 9 Echo Golf Lima. Got that correction. Thank you for that. I'm going to go up to Daniel here at 9MUF. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff in the net. Just a quick in and out. I think allergies are just playing havoc with my sinuses, so trying to keep quiet with making my wife happy. But at least I'll get to do CW this afternoon. We're going to skip the POTA.
No POTA today. Well, that's understandable. You are pretty busy with POTAs, and you want to take it easy and get better.
Yep, trying to do this odd thing and actually take care of myself. And one of these lessons, even after, well, I won't mention how many years, I've still got to learn. So 7-3 to you in the net, Jeff, and 9MUF.
All right, Daniel. Take care of yourself, and happy Sunday. And 9MUF, KW6U73. And great in KC6SLE. Did you have a recheck?
Thank you, Jeff. I just wanted to remind everyone about the next club meeting that we are going to have round 2 of the Touch It, Take It table. I've got bin after bin after bin of electronic equipment in the garage that I would prefer not to take to the recycling center and throw away. A lot of it's good, useful stuff for hams. So we'll do round 2 at the next club meeting in person. Jim and I, W8MPA. So I just want to remind everybody about that. That'll be round 2. Lots of good stuff to give away. KC6SLE.
Yeah, the Touch It, Take It table is a nice feature. Sometimes you're going to find things that you can't live without, but if you pick it up, it's yours. So very good, Graydon. Thanks for that reminder. And thanks for the check-in on that. KC6SLE, KW6U73. And Orion, AI6JB, how are you? And what's happening with you today?
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, everyone on the Coffee Break Net. We are heading north on 65 to take another load out of my mom's house. So that is the order of business for today.
Well, you're out there in the foggy, kind of semi-rainy weather, so hopefully that's not going to be an issue up north.
Actually, we're past Wheatland, coming up to Sheridan, and it's actually starting to break up a little bit, so that's kind of nice. So this is your last Sunday, right? I'll be taking over for you next Sunday.
Yep, this is it for a while, and certainly enjoy taking over Sundays. If everybody doesn't know Orion from Saturdays, he's going to take over Sundays from this point forward as I'm off doing other things.
So you all packed and ready to go on your trek?
I've gone through my bag a couple of times. It's actually, I'm going to take it apart one more time and double check it all, and I've got to send off some boxes now, so I'm sending those out this week. I'll send out 2, and then I've got my schedule for my wife to send them forward as I check them. I don't know what kind of adjustments I'm going to make along the way, but I've got a spreadsheet for her and for a checklist, and I'll check on what I want.
That's kind of cool. I would imagine there's a lot of folks out there providing resources or itineraries. Did you find something like that on the internet, or did you kind of figure this all out yourself?
No, I found several resources out there, spreadsheets already built on Google Sheets, and so I took one and modified it for my use. It just made it a lot easier to put things together. So fantastic resource, and then I built a spreadsheet. I used AI for this to build a predictive model for the dates I would be hitting certain milestones. So when I roll into town, I put the date in there, and it calculates out the remainder of the trip to make it easier to send off packages 2 weeks out.
So how many days are you carrying food for? 3 or 4 or something like that, or more?
Some days 3, some days 5. It depends on in between the points. I think the longest stretch I'm going to have to carry is going to be 7 days.
That's cool. Well, you shouldn't have any snow to contend with this year, unlike previous years where folks were having a constant snow. So that should be kind of cool, although I would think the desert stretch is going to be pretty hot already.
Yeah, that's my assessment also. I think the desert stretches are going to be the toughest part, carrying water. So that's going to be the hard part. Hopefully by the time I hit to the worst of it, there's one stretch that's 30 miles without water. Maybe there's a trail angel out there setting things up. But the section out of Lancaster that you head off to Tehachapi, in that section, that 30 miles is my biggest concern.
Yeah. Well, anyway, when do you expect to be up in this area? Maybe we'll plan a little backpacking trip and walk with you for a little while.
I'll let you know as I go along a little bit. It changes, of course, but somewhere in late June, I should be headed up around Lake Tahoe.
Wow, that fast. All right, very cool, very cool. I think you said at one point you might share your inReach or your tracker. Is that still a possibility?
Yeah, I haven't decided exactly how I want to do that. I do and I don't, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be out there super public. I'd rather, I probably will share it with somebody and have them, do it for me.
Alrighty, well, very cool, very cool. Exciting news, exciting news. Will we see you at the Coffee and Donuts on the 9th, or are you already gone by that point in time?
No, I'll be on the trail by that point. I should be on, day 2.
Very cool, very cool. Well, they're excited to hear about it when you get all done, or maybe if you post on Facebook or Instagram or something. It'll be fun to follow you along. All right, Jeff, have a wonderful day, and thanks for doing the Coffee Break Net. W6U AI6JP73.
All right, Orion, thanks, and have fun. We're taking stuff out of Mom's house. AI6JB, KW6U73. Good morning, Bob, N6EMS. How are you today?
Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Alpha Kilo Sierra jumping in to say hello from
getting things done. We cleaned up the ants' space so I can identify with Orion. She was at an assisted living, so went in with my 2 cousins and we emptied out her apartment there, and so just been doing other things. Fixed a trolling motor on my cousin's boat, and then installed some new stuff, and fixed a cabinet door that was really a pain in the patootie, but we got that all buttoned up today, so that's a good thing. And then we've got visitation tomorrow and then service on Tuesday. And then I'll be jumping on a plane on Wednesday.
So, catch where you were at. Where are you at right now then if you're apparently you're not at home?
I am not. But compliments of the M1KE here. I am just west, kind of in a suburb, west suburb of Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, well that's a big deal. It's a haul to go out there to do all of that cleanup stuff. It's a big deal to be able to get that taken care of, though. good that you were able to do it.
Yeah, I made the decision a couple of years back, well, about 5 years back, that, living on the West Coast and the few fragments of family that are left, that I needed to at least once a year, but better twice a year, get back and just spend some time and shore up relationships and stuff, and it paid off. I mean, not being the guy that's like, oh, yeah, I meant to come out and visit her, but, never did, yeah. But, anyway, so, yeah, it's been good catching up with everybody, and I'm sure tomorrow will be both joyful and sharing times that and stories about my aunt, and a little sad as well.
Well, I'm sure everyone appreciates that you made it out there. No doubt about it. It can be very nice sharing stories with about loved ones that passed. There are times when you'll have a laugh and maybe a few cries.
Yeah, and exactly, that's it. Not only us, but I'm sure everybody else that's coming is going to be in the same boat, It's good to share those memories, but also maybe a hug or two and a tear here and there.
Well, more importantly, it's important to see the other folks around and the other family members or extended family members and friends. That visit goes a long ways to be remembered. That's good.
Well, I am a little torn because you guys are my family out there, and I'm missing you guys, seeing you guys, and I do tell a lot of stories about you guys, and it is true that ours is definitely a social club with a ham radio problem.
That is the best description of our club I've heard over and over again. I love it. We are a social club with a ham radio problem, no doubt about it. Well, you have a safe travels. Have fun visiting with the family. Make the best of it all, and getting things done. I'm sure all of your work is appreciated by everyone.
Well, I do have to say I did bring the FT3 along and got out here and dialed it into a local repeater and set it in the windowsill. Ever since I've done that, I haven't heard even one squelch break on that thing. I'm like, are you kidding? Anyway, but it just warms my heart that even during non-net times, there's people that pop in on our repeater. So, all right, won't hold you up. You guys have a good time and a good day, and I'll be thinking about you. KW6U and 6EMS.
All right, Bob. Have a great time, and we'll see you around here soon enough. N6EMS, KW6U 73. And good morning, W6EK. How are you this morning?
VK2AKS.
Okay, sorry about that. I was looking for W6EK. Are you still there? All right, hearing none. I've got you down as an in and out. And then go ahead and time to take some more check-ins here. I know there's somebody waiting in the wings. Go ahead and come and let me know if you are in and out.
Kilo Oscar 6, Indy Hotel Juliet, in and out.
This is Kilo Bravo 7, Delta Foxtrot Papa, Ken and Twin Falls, pedestrian mobile in and out.
Kilo November 6, Whiskey, Quebec Uniform KN6, WQU. Put a lock.
Victor Echo 1, VE1, Charlie Mike Delta. First name here, Corey. Cape Breton here. Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia, Canada there. I hope you have a good trip and having a great net here, guys. Just listening in and out here in the mobile. VE1 CMD.
W6EK.
All right, let me run through my list who I have here. Larry, I've got you. I'll go top to bottom here. KO6IHJ. I've got you. KB7DFP, KN6WQU, and it was just a kerfuffle through the remaining 2 or 3 people here. I got a Victor 1 CMD, if that's correct. I'll have you try again, please.
Victor Echo 1, Charlie Mike Delta. First name here, Corey. Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia, Canada. I said, I hope you have a good trip there and great net here, guys. Just listening along in the mobile. In and out, over.
Well, very good. Yes.
Kilo Oscar 6, November Charlie, India. This is Chris and Chico for a quick in and out.
I'm looking forward to that big old trip, so it will be fun. We'll catch you next time. Alpha 1 is CMD. Thank you very much. And there was somebody else that was doubling right then as well.
Yeah, this is Kilo Oscar 6, November Charlie, India. Chris and Chico for a quick in and out.
All right, Chris, I've got you there for an in and out. I'm going to roll through them. KO6NCI. I take it you're on the road?
Yep, I sure am. Heading down to Sacramento.
All right, I'll catch you here in a minute, and we'll go through our in and outs as well. Larry, KO6IHJ, you are up. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. KO6IHJ. Hey, I woke up a little late today, and they started talking about rain. I was like, is it raining? I was like, it's raining outside. Oh, my gosh, you know what that means, right? Sunday. It's going to be ham radio day.
There's nothing better to do when you can't go outside but sit there and look at the waterfall.
I was going to say, I was going to mow the lawn, till the garden, pull some weeds, chop down a tree, but it rained, so I'm going to stay on the dry side of the door and play radio. That's about it for me. Hope everybody stays dry, make sure everything's rolled up, and be careful out there. So let's send it back to you. Got a whole bunch of people coming in now, so have fun. KO6IJ73. God bless.
All right, Larry. Thanks for checking in. Enjoy your waterfall day. KO6IHJ, JW6U73. And good morning, Ken. KB7DFP, pedestrian mobile. A little later this morning than usual.
Yeah, I got off to a late start. I wanted to let you know that in your kerfuffle there was a K7EGA from my area that was in there that said he wanted to stick around. So he just wanted to relay that on to you. And yeah, I'm just walking around enjoying the somewhat breezy weather, but that's okay.
Very good. At K7EGA, I've got I put him down there for check-in here in a bit. Well, very cool. So you're out and about enjoying your morning. Is it foggy up there by you or overcast by you?
Yeah, it's overcast, no fog. I think it's chilly. I don't know. I got my hoodie on and I felt pretty good. I'll probably, after this, maybe hop in the vehicle, go get a coffee, and who knows what I'm going to do after that.
Well, it's nice to get out and about, no doubt, when you're having fun. But you haven't had your coffee yet. It's so late here, 9:36.
Yeah, I think that's a problem. I'm going to have to work on that. I definitely need my coffee. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Well, that's a fixable situation, no doubt about it. But hey, have fun doing what you're doing here. You're pedestrian mobile right now. You do that all the time on your Sundays. Is that the only day you go for long walks?
Sometimes I do it on Saturdays too. During the week, I might slip one in the evening, but sometimes it's hard because you get home and you're shot and you're kind of ready to relax.
Fair enough. I know you have long days as it is, a lot of driving, and so Sundays are your day. So enjoy your day.
All right, thanks for getting me in there, even though I'm really late for my normal time. KB7 DFP clear.
All right, Ken, thanks for checking in this morning. I got you in there. Have a great walk. KB7 DFP, KW6U73. And good morning, Dan, KN6 WQU. How are you this morning?
EK2AKS.
All right, I got a KIS. Come talk to me here. What's your call sign? Come again, please.
Victor Kilo 2 Alpha Kilo Sierra out of Bondi Beach, Sydney, Australia.
Oh, very good. I've got you here as an in and out. I'll put you down. Victor Kilo 2 Alpha Kilo Sierra. Did I get that correctly?
Yeah, roger that. Name here is Daniel out of Bondi Beach, Sydney, Australia. QSL over.
Daniel, I have you here. I'll go ahead and get through a couple of more in and out check-ins, and I'll put you there on the list. Thank you for getting on our list here. I'll be right back to you.
Yeah, copy that. Many thanks.
All right, let's see. KO6NCI, Chris, you're on the road. Good morning.
Good morning to you in the net. Yeah, we're on the road heading down to my sister's little family's house for my nephew's 3rd birthday, and just live. We're kind of in the background while we're in and out of the house this morning. Just wanted to ask you, I mean, I don't know if it's been touched on already, but where are you starting on the trail exactly? You going down to Mexico to start and go north, or north to south? And what does that take if you're doing the whole trail? Is that like an 8-month deal if you're going like 20 miles a day? I was just trying to figure that out. But very cool. I like it. I wish I had a little bit more time to do something like that. But yeah, other than that, I mean, nothing to really report. A little bit of rain here, and yeah, that's about it. KO6NCI.
Well, thanks for that, Scott. Sorry, Chris. My apologies, Chris. Yeah, so I am starting in Campo at the Mexican border. That's about an hour east of San Diego, and I'll hike up all the way through to Canada, and that's 2,650 to 55 miles, depending on the trail for the given year, and that should take me about 5.5 months.
Okay, that's a little quicker than I thought. Right on. That's very cool. Are you gonna stick around up there in Canada when are you going to go into Canada anyways? If you are you going to stick around up there?
What you have to do now is go over towards to Vancouver to cross over there. You used to be able to cross into Canada and then exit out, but a few years back they stopped those crossings into Canada at the border, so then you have to turn back and back 15 miles to catch the road and go to Seattle or up in that way and go through another border crossing. I do intend to do that. I think I'd like to head into Vancouver and then over to Vancouver Island, Victoria, while I'm up there.
Yeah, I definitely would want to do that too if it was me. I've been up in where was it, Shasta City, up there visiting, having brunch up there before, and seeing all the people coming up and down off of the trail. And that's a real cool spot. Just because I think in June was the last time I was up there. We saw, sun, rain, thunder, lightning, snow, hail, all in one day. It's pretty wild up there. But yeah, beautiful area. I'm originally from Santa Cruz and moved up here to Chico like 5 or 6 years ago, and so still kind of getting familiarized with all the Northern California stuff up here, camping and rock crawling, 4-wheel drive trails, that sort of thing. I know you guys got a bunch up there yourself.
Oh yeah, there's quite a bit around here. In fact, I'll be headed by Bernie Falls, and if you haven't been there yet, you should go. The Pacific Crest Trail goes around Bernie Falls and then heads across towards I-5 eventually at Dunsmuir is where you cross I-5, and then off in through the Trinity area out into Oregon eventually.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about Bernie Falls and have not been up there yet. But Dunsmuir, when we went up to Shasta City, we did go to Dunsmuir, and I can't remember the name of the falls that we went to up there, but I think they're real popular falls that everybody knows about up there. Real cool little trails and little waterfalls. I think there's actually a few different ones up there. You probably know where I'm talking about. I can't remember the name, though.
I do. I can't remember that off the top of my head either. I've climbed Mount Shasta several times in my past over the years, since my first time when I was 30, and then it's been one of the things we did every year for a while with a group of people from work. And so backpacking and mountain climbing has been part of my life for a while. It's not been lately, but I'm having fun right now.
Yeah, I never thought that was something that I'd be into, but I've been getting into rucking lately, and the more that I get into that, the more I see the appeal of backpacking. Really cool. Good way to stay healthy, too, and enjoy the outdoors.
There's a sense of accomplishment at the end of a good long hike, especially if there's vistas that are worthwhile when you're mountain topping, when you get up to the top. And when you're on your way back, you feel very accomplished.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, I just feel happy to get out there for my short little rucks, but doing something like that, I imagine you feel a huge sense of accomplishment. Yeah, it's something that we're going to have to maybe start looking into, the girlfriend and me, when we decide to, go camping next time, as soon as this weather starts to lighten up a little bit.
You'll have a blast. By all means, take your girlfriend over to Bernie Falls. It's worth the visit. You'll enjoy it, and especially when it's hot outside, you'll get next to the misty water there. Well, hey, have a great day. Have a great drive to where you're headed, and we'll catch you out here next time. I'll try and keep folks updated where I'm at on the trail and let people know.
Yeah, please do. Appreciate that. You guys all have a good Sunday. KO6NCI.
All right, Chris, take care. KO6NGI, KW6U73. Let's see, Scott, K7EGA. How are you? And thanks for checking into the net.
Good morning, Break Net. Doing good. We're just in the middle of getting a house ready to sell, and I'm actually just got done heading out to our travel trailer to drop some camping stuff off in it. But yeah, we're just kind of moseying along, enjoying our Sunday.
Sounds like you're having a blast. That's always a good day to get things done. Now you're up there near Ken in Idaho there. So how's your time up there? Have you been there a long time? Is this something that you just moved up to recently?
I have been in this area since 2009 when I got out of the Marine Corps, and I got married, and when we got out of the Marine Corps, we moved back home here to where my wife's from. But yeah, been over here since then, and now I got a new position at work, and so we're moving towards Boise, it's near our capital. So we're building a house up there and moving the whole family over there.
It's been a long time since I've been to Idaho, but I remember Boise as being pretty nice. I'm sure it's even better now.
Yes, it's definitely grown. Even Twin Falls, it's crazy how much it's grown since 2009. And we're not going to be right in town. Or I guess I'm not going to say we're in Boise. Will be in Star, which is like a little subdivision or a neighborhood, or what do you call that? I guess a suburb of Boise. I guess I don't know what you call it. But yeah, no, we're excited. The weather was really nice. It was up in the 70s and the 80s, and now we're back down in the 50s and 60s. And so I'm ready for some warm weather and camping season to begin.
Well, I'm sure that'll come around when it does. This is a strange season. We got some El Nino stuff building, so I hear that's supposed to be the next big thing is El Nino.
Yeah, absolutely. I just heard you talking about your trip hiking from Mexico to Canada. That's pretty cool. My boss, when I worked for Fish and Game, we have a trail similar to that, to where you hike from one end of Idaho to the Canadian border, and he did that. And just listening to him tell his stories about that, it's pretty wild. Some of the country you get to go through is just gorgeous.
I can imagine that. Boy, oh boy. Are you talking about, I don't know which trail that is. I'm going off the top of my head here. There is the northern part of I'm just drawing a blank. I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank on the trail.
Yeah, I believe it's called the Idaho Centennial Trail, and it just starts down by the Nevada-Idaho border, not too far from where Ken and I are, actually. And, man, you start off hiking through the high desert, and then you get up into the Sawtooth Mountains, and you go through all of that, and then you get up into central Idaho, and then northern Idaho, and it's, man, you get to see every climate that Idaho gets to shows you. So I've always said, oh, man, that'd be fun to do, but as a husband and a dad with two little kiddos, that's just not in the books right now.
Yeah, my kids are all grown. It's those kinds of trips, if you're going to do it on a trail, you're gone for a while, and it's hard to be away that long. Although you could probably do something pretty quick. I don't know how fast you hiked as a Marine, but, you keep yourself up a little bit, you can probably accomplish it quicker than you realize.
Yep, absolutely. And that's something I like to do this summer. That's my goal, is maybe go out and do some more soda activations and see if I can get some more of you guys contacts down there from down in California. So, but yeah, not a whole lot going on today. Like I said, we're just packing up and getting ready to move and trying to get the house ready to put on the market, which is always so much fun, right? Kind of sad. I don't have a shack right now. I'm relegated to FT5 at home, and luckily I got my 400 in the truck still, so I can still listen to the morning coffee net. But other than that, that's all I got right now.
All right, Scott. Well, hey, you have a great day. Happy Sunday, and enjoy packing, and good luck on your move. I'm sure that's going to work out great for you. K7EGA KW637C.
Everyone.
Good morning, Daniel. Victor Kilo 2 Alpha Kilo Sierra. How are you from Australia? Victor Kilo 2 Alpha Kilo Sierra. Did you have anything else for the net this morning? All right, hearing none, we'll move on down. It is 9:51. Wow. It's time to take the last round of in and outs, and we'll go ahead and take some log only. So, in and outs and log onlys, please.
KD6QH. Looking forward to hearing about your hiking trip as you move forward. But I'll be a log only. Peter, don't grow.
AK5 Golf Whiskey November, in and out.
Kilo 6 Bravo Zulu. Log only, please. K4LGI, in and out.
Whiskey Bravo 3, Charlie Sierra Yankee, log only, Jeff. Thanks.
Kilo Oscar 6, Juliet Mike, log only, please.
KB6ED, log only.
All right, let me go through all that I have. Good morning, Ed, KB6ED. I've got you in the log. KO6, Juliet Mike, got you in the log. Rick, WB3CSY in the log. Sam, K4 Lima Golf, Idaho, got you as an in and out. K6, GBZ, got you in the log. KJ5GWN as an in and out. And KD6QZH Peter got you in the log. Let's see. Let's go to KJ5GWN. Good morning. Anything else for the net?
Good morning, Jeff. This is Will, KK5 Golf Whiskey November. Here at the church building in the middle of work. That's why the noise is so loud in here. But anyway, not doing too much else other than getting ready to go home in a little bit. So anyway, catch you guys later. This is KJ5 Golf Whiskey November.
Well, very good, and happy Sunday to you, and thanks for checking into the net, Will. It's good to hear you. KJ5GWN, KW6U73. And going past the log onlys to Sam, K4 Lima Golf, Idaho. Good morning. Anything else for the net today?
Well, Jeff, I tuned in a little late today. Yeah, I didn't get if you'd be around next week or not. But just in case, I just wanted to wish you the best of luck there and stay safe. That's it from here, K4LGI.
Well, thank you for that, Sam. No, this is my last Sunday for the Coffee Break Net. I'll be headed off for quite a while. Orion, AI6JB, will be taking over Sundays. He'll move from Saturday to Sundays, and you'll hear some other voices on the Coffee Break Net, hopefully. So thanks for the well wishes, and we'll catch you soon. K4 Lima Golf, Idaho, KW6U73. All right, good morning, Coffee Break Net. Just a couple more minutes. I'll go ahead and take log onlys, please. Log onlys.
AM6YKX. Good luck on your trip, Jeff.
Log only and aloha.
K6BSY. For people or solo? That's my only question.
All right, let me go through. I have here K6BSY, Jeff, I've got you. Rob got you, KM6YKX. Somebody that just doubled with Jeff there, you had a question.
Yes, W6YGO, Tim and Loomis. I was wondering, are you hiking this solo or with a group of people?
Well, that's a technicality. I'm hiking solo, and the reality is there's 50 people a day launching from on the Pacific Crest Trail, so I'll be hiking amongst those particular groups as we overlap each other.
Roger, yeah, it sounds like the trail will be pretty busy. Anyway, good luck on that, Jeff. Look forward to hearing your updates along the way.
I will do that. Very good. Thanks, Tim. And we'll catch you another time. W6YGO. There was another station that was checking in log only that I forgot as well. I didn't get the call.
It might have been me. Kilo Hotel 7 Whiskey Mike, Henry. Aloha.
Henry, it was you. I heard the aloha. That's all I got out of the call previously. So KH7 Whiskey Mike. Very good. Thank you, Henry. Yeah, got you in the log. All right, one more round of log onlys.
Alpha India 6, Uniform Sierra.
Whiskey 6, Juliet, Charlie, Zulu.
All right, Brian, I've got you in the log, AI6US, and that other station, D6, India, Charlie, Zulu. Come again, please. Let's get your call corrected.
This is Jim, Whiskey 6, Juliet, Charlie, Zulu, home after an early morning grocery run. Good morning, everyone.
I should have recognized your voice. Thanks, Jim, for checking in this morning. Anyone else for the log? Well, hearing none, we'll go ahead and close the Coffee Break Net down. It's been a pleasure being on the Coffee Break Net on Sunday mornings. Next Sunday we'll have Orion AI6JB. I will be out and about for quite a while, and when I get back, we'll see what goes on. Have a great Sunday, everyone. We'll hopefully be able to check in on the net as I'm hiking along, and I'll let you all know where I'm at. This is KW6U signing out and returning the repeater back to normal operation. 7-3.
Is 10 a.m.
Hey, Jeff, just want to thank you for your coverage of the net control for many Saturdays or Sundays here. And definitely we want to wish you well on the trail.
and we'll be passing along any information we receive on your adventures. And just kind of a shout out to everybody, keep an eye out, because as Jeff gets near our area and maybe he passes I-80 or I-50, we're going to have a Let's Go Jeff. Maybe at his crossing we can be out there as a pep team. So Jeff, have a safe trip. AI6US, thanks for running the net.